Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Elian Kutsi and we're back with another very special vehicle. It's one that's full of absolute complete Italian elegance combined with raw power and enjoyment and finesse. It's the Maserati Ghibli Trofeo. So one of my favorite things about the Maserati Ghibli Trofeo is what actually a lot of people kind of say that it was too understated. It's not raw enough. It's not, like I suppose like as aggressive as an M5, but that's precisely what I like about it. It's understated. You could go to a business meeting and no one would bat an eyelid, but at the same time, the moment you got the road, it's packed full of enjoyment. And there's a few key indicators that you might notice. One of them is like the tricolor Italian flag on the central stern of it, which actually gives it a bit of an indicator of its Italian heritage. The name Trofeo actually means trophy, so it's a trophy of the Maserati Ghibli line. It also has this nice red detailing on the trident, the Maserati trident, indicated to its power, and it also has the Trofeo detailing as well as the red detailing in the side air vents as well, and the air vents in the bonnet. So it's very subtle, really. It's not very in your face, but that's precisely what I like about it. Arguably, you'd drive past, you'd have no idea what this car is until it took off and left you in the dust. It's magnificent in my opinion. So guys, today we're in a Maserati Ghibli Trofeo, and it's a car that I've had a lot of time behind the wheel. I've probably driven about 300 miles or so in this car, and what it's done is to give me a really good feel of exactly what this car is for and what it's capable of. And what I'll say is the first moment I got in this car and got behind the wheel, it made me smile. It's so much fun. It's just so sharp, so responsive. And the difference between let's say a more traditional Ghibli or a more sort of stately sort of business car is that this car can do both. It has the capacity to be the elegant, slow cruiser, but it also has that real animal under the bonnet in a 3.8 litre twin-turbo V8 engine designed by Ferrari, and it has a different level of performance altogether. I mean, to put it into context, you're looking at an entry-level Ghibli around the early 60,000s. This car starts on the road price of £103,000. That's how much they geared it up. And if you look around the interior, there's been some beautiful little touches here or there alluding to the Trofeo brand. But most of the design work has been behind the bonnet and the drive itself and the handling of it. And it's absolutely astounding. What does that actually translate to driving terms? Well, it translates to 0 to 62 of 4.3 seconds and a top speed, a staggering top speed of 203 miles an hour, which is astounding. And I remember when I was driving this down, I actually drove it down to Cambridge. What you noticed was when you hit the high revs, it didn't matter. The car kept on going, the turbo just kicked in and it kept on going faster and faster and faster. And that raw sort of Maserati Ferrari engine noise was just growling behind you and inspiring you to just keep going ever faster, which I didn't, of course, kept it completely within the limits. But what a car, my friends, what a car. So one of the modes it has actually is Sport Corsa mode. It's a button which I'll actually press now. And what it does is essentially, you can actually do the launch control with this, you can manage the launch control with this, but it also puts the car essentially into sports mode, which means you can have a lot of performance, a lot of fun, without doing a great deal. So it stays in the lower gears for longer. So you can see the instant torque, the instant pickup, the acceleration is there, but it doesn't go overly aggressive in that you can still treat this as a normal. You can actually use the Corsa mode almost as I wouldn't say as a daily drive, but you could. I mean, it does eat the petrol a little bit, but that's all part of the enjoyment. One of the most important things I'll say about this particular vehicle is that it's just so much fun. It's almost the antithesis of the way people think it looks. You look at the car, you think it's stately, elegant, almost sort of more timid. But once you get inside and you put your foot down, the car just is always wanting to go faster. It's so much fun. It's a car that you just want to drive, and I've had a smile on my face since the moment I stepped in it. Going back to the Maserati Sport Heritage, it has paddles at the side, which you can use to transform into sport mode straight away. But the great thing about it is you can downshift quickly, but then the moment you stop, it goes straight back into auto, which allows you to have both the sport side of it, but also the sort of more corporate, elegant side. As you can see, there's a recurring theme here. This car is a car not for those who just want to be outright loud, not for people who want to be the center of attention, not for people who want to just, you know, blow your eardrums off as they drive past, although it is pretty loud. This car is for the humble. It's humble, it's elegant, it's refined, yet it's absolutely fun. So how would I sum up my thoughts about the Maserati Ghibli Trofeo, the 2021 edition? Well, I have to say, I absolutely love it. I was surprised. With a lot of people to look at, I thought, it does seem a little bit timid, but my whole mantra is the idea of understated power, and this is a car that will surprise a lot of people. It's a car that surprises me driving it. I mean, I just didn't expect to see the kind of power and performance in such a stately looking vehicle. And there's also the little things that Maserati have refined. The navigation system is actually a TomTom system. So it gives you an ultimate navigation experience, which a lot of top brands seem to get wrong. So I'm so glad they went down that route. But also the 10.1 inch TFT screen is an absolute joy. It has so many features. And what I like about it though is Maserati still have a lot of buttons. I'm a button guy. I like to have a button there so I know what I'm pressing. And when I'm going at high speeds, I don't have to reach too far. I know where it is. And they have a lot of buttons as well. It's very comfortable. It has all your feature comforts, but also has at the back a rear view like screen guards for the more executive feel to keep the sun off your back in there, which is incredible in this heat. But all in all, it does everything that you'd hope it do as an executive vehicle, but it does everything you'd hope it do as a performance vehicle. So for me, that's an absolute win.